again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to week 5 of my budget check-in and cash stuffing envelope. As always, I usually start these videos off letting you know that this is not my entire financial outlook. This is just what I've broke out of our paychecks and the debt that I want to pay off by the end of the year, which is just all those unsecured credit cards, loans, stupid stuff, and a mortgage. I'm going to pay off a mortgage too. So anyway, because I own rental property. So this is my cash stuffing envelope, and there will be less cash stuffed this week because I have super news about what's in here. So let's just get right to it. So to finalize the end of the week, the check-in, I only spent $86.64 last week from my food, gas, miscellaneous, and fun. I spent no fun money. I know. I had no miscellaneous spending. I know. I did spend $34 in gas because this goes, the way that I do my budget is I start it on Thursday and I go to Wednesday. So this is, this check-in here, and then we're going to show the start of this week. These 2 days I did have to go into the office, so I had to drive into St. Louis. So I just filled my tank up. So I've only had to put gas in my car actually once this month, because the last time I did it was my first week check-in, which was the last paycheck, and the first check-in was pulling from the last income in December that I had. So I did spend $34 in gas, which is pretty much, spot on, which would have, because I got that on Tuesday, and that would have kept me till the end of the week. So I'm pretty spot on for the 54, and I'm okay with that. And then food, we did eat out once, which is like our Friday night thing. So we got Chinese, which was $49.34. And then one of those days when I was at work, I got hungry and I didn't have lunch, so I just went and got a sandwich out of the vending machine. So $3.30. This one right here, one of those pay in four for my Scrap Happy, Scrap Smarter experience. So I did a pay in four on that, and it was supposed to come out on the 25th, but it didn't actually come out until the 27th, so that is going on week 5 check-in. So yeah, this was really, really good on the spending, so I know I can do it. So then that actually ended up carrying over. I took the $100 out. You guys seen that. I paid a big chunk on Amazon. I made another payment to my dental bill, which also is coming down. See if I cannot do that. Is right here. So, and I'll be paying the dental bill again this week. So my dental bill started at $400. We're at $350. My husband's doctor bill was like, I thought it was $200, but it was ended up only being $170.87. So we were able to, that is down to $150 now. So I'm going to keep paying on that. I did put $35 into my physical bank checking account, and we ended the week with $551.37. Now, usually my goal is to have this at zero, but that's going to be later in my check-ins, because I want to make sure that I am budgeting properly on this aspect so I don't have to tap into any of the other funds. So then this week, like I said, we were able to roll over $551.37. The amount that I'm putting in for my paycheck is $528.62. So far, this little debt loan that I got going on right here, I've only got $76 of, and we had no extra crafty income. My husband pays half of the SUV bill, which is $440, so he gives me $220, and he gives me $55 for his cell phone from back here. Things happened and I didn't get it all transferred in time, and he doesn't get paid until Saturday or Sunday. He'll see his paycheck, most likely Monday. So the $220 will come in on that, but I didn't want to figure it in because I wanted to pay off some extra debt, and in case I don't want to do that until I know his money is there, if that makes sense. Just so I don't overextend myself and then have to pull from the savings or from here or there or do something and add more money to my credit cards, because that's not what we want to do. So this week these are the ones that I've already paid. These haven't come out yet and I haven't wrote the checks yet. The SUV came out $422.17. I paid $50 to Amazon on my normal weekly bills. I paid $25 to Discover, normal weekly bills, and another $25 to Home Depot. And you guys know that that's what I'm working on for my Home Depot. I pay $25 a week. So we have that now down to $27.75 from the, which is not a big one, but from the $29.22.53 that was on there, it's down to $27.75. So that is a good decrease, but that is 0%. That is 0%. Like this little amount right here that I only owe $212 on and has to be paid off by May 14th of 2022. Then I get hit with the interest for this one. That one's going to be paid off by March, just at doing $25 a week. The big one was when we replaced the carpet. We replaced the flooring in the house. So that's $25.63. But that's 0 interest until November 14th of 2023. So I'm not really worried about hitting this heavily just yet. The Amazon was the one that it was 0% until April of 2022. And that had a total on it at the start of the year. So just 5 weeks ago, I had $1,508.98. And my Discover I had to add on to it because I knew in my head we were hitting it starting February with the first paycheck in February. Or my first check-in. I keep saying paycheck. My first check-in the first week in February, so week 6 is when I'm going to start hitting the Discover. Because this $58.03.79, which is now around $6,000, so we've increased it by a couple, is 0% until August of 2022. So I've calculated it out, and I've redone this because I don't like the way I'm doing this. I didn't use an erasable pin. So that's the problem. So I just used whiteout, and we're going to go through each month, and I will put how much I actually paid on there and what the total is going into the next month. But as long as I put about $900 on this credit card a month, it'll be paid off by July. So I'm totally fine with that, the way that I've done the calculations, or it'll definitely be paid off before the first week in August, and it is due, I wrote that down somewhere and I don't even know where. But anyway, so back to this. Then I have my YouTube subscription for my lovely friend Sarah Scraps. That's $6.99 a month. Now I don't know if that comes directly out of my checking account or it goes on one of my business credit one, which if it goes on my business credit one, I will just, make an additional $6.99 payment to it and be done with it. Cocoa Daisy is the same. It's a subscription. I don't know if it comes off my credit card or directly out of my account. I'm going to be writing those down this month. But it's just there, and then I'm going to send another $25 to the dentist and another $25 to the doctor. So that's going to leave us with $542.59 going in. I've calculated up the $212.25. Food, I've budgeted out $108.25. Gas is $54, which we might spend on gas this week again because I don't know. I'll find out at the end of this week, so tomorrow, the 28th. How many days I have to go into the office next week, if any at all. I've got miscellaneous, 25, and my fun is 25. On this already, my miscellaneous, I've already spent $24.75 because that came out. And I'm not calculating that as fun money, I'm calculating that as miscellaneous because I'm already negative on my fun money due to all the fun I had in December. Those add up. So for the rest of this month, which is pretty cool since this is the last week, I technically would have $314.41 left for the food budget, $205.88 for the gas budget, $86.03 for the miscellaneous, and I'm negative $9.61 on my fun money. Now each week I roll that over into this amount and split it up to spend on the additional payments. So I'm not I don't have $314 sitting somewhere just for food. We don't come close. And this is not, I don't include groceries or stuff like that. This is basically us eating out or grabbing something while we're out. That is all that is for. Gas is obviously for gas in my car alone. And then it's basically $50 that I have budgeted for my spending. But I haven't actually bought anything other than Dottie About Flair to celebrate and support my lovely friend Adam and the launch of his Dottie About Flair website, if that makes any sense. And that was only, it didn't blow any of my budget, my essentially $250 budget. It didn't blow that at all. So, that being said, I won't know any of these figures until the end of next week, but I did take out $60 in cash, so we will do that in a moment, and that's how that's going to break down. I have already made this payment. So you guys, I have paid off my Amazon credit card, and I actually even did my cute little sticker that says paid off. So it is done. I have paid off $1,508.98 on top of what I've paid on the Discover, on my, this is my rental mortgage, on the Home Depot, on the Prosper, and the Credit One. So, and like I said, I have added to that Credit One, but those were business expenses, plus I had to buy a case of ATG tape because it was cheaper, and I had the money, so I did it. So, at the end of the month, so on actually February 1st, I will go in and calculate these totals out. But as of last week, the Discover was down to $60.54.42. So it is, well, it wasn't down. It was up, but it was actually down. So, I mean, we increased on the Discover. The Amazon was $248.39. We know that's zero now. The Home Depot was $28, which is $27.75 now. The Credit One is up over $400 because the rest of them came through. But the debt is down a lot. Like, that is how much money that I was able to put towards my debt. And that makes me sick. It makes me sick because that money, so it was like $2,000 plus that I paid extra onto debt. That is $2,000 plus that I could be putting in a savings or paying off my, putting a big portion, saving it and paying off my car, saving up to pay off my house, saving up to build the new house that we're planning. And that is what this is. The 5-year plan here is to build a brand new house, which is our forever home and we'll die in. Kind of morbid thinking, but nonetheless. So, I am really impressed. I have now got one credit card completely paid off. So this one is gone. And to know that I paid off $1,500 on a credit card in a month, really, no, I believe it. I see it. So Discover, February is going to be a little different. I did track that out and kind of look at it, and the bills fall completely different. So we might not be able to make those $500 payments. I think I did that, twice this month? Because I do have that all tracked. So I made basically a $250 payment this week to Amazon. I made a $450 payment last week to Amazon. I made a $150 payment the week before. I did a $600 payment that week. And I only did a $50 payment this first week because I was very unsure of what was happening and I wasn't trying to hit these really hard. But, I mean, if you total that up, that's a lot of money. That was several, $600. This one was low, $150. This one was $450. That's $1,000. So you're over $1,000 there. Then you have another $250. I mean, impressive for myself. Sorry, just tooting my own horn. But after we get everything situated, and the water heater is actually going to be, they had the wrong one. So I still haven't paid the $800 for the water heater. I'm hoping to not have, and I have a separate fund for that. But if I don't have to tap into that fund and I can use some of so I might not actually pay in a $40 additional to the Credit One or the $150 to Discover. But me and my husband haven't really discussed that. We don't have the final figure on what the water heater is going to cost, which is super cheap and I'm totally fine with. But I don't want to put the money on the credit card and then be short somewhere else and have to charge the credit card again. That just seems silly to me, right? So, that is my check-in. And I'm super happy. And like I said, these figures do change. You guys do see that they do change depending on what I get paid. But going in to the next week, this will only be $400. It's kind of a running total joke, and I'm not going to explain it on why that this is probably always going to be there for family and what they owe me. I know. So we are just going to go ahead and come right on over here. And I want to make sure, yep, it both matches. So we're going to stuff our envelopes. And I'm doing it in 60 in increments of 20 now because I have a lot of 5 to make change from. And once I can no longer make change from all the envelopes, then my husband will have to start going to the teller window to get the cash. And he is like so excited about that. But I'm just trying to do it so he can just run through the ATM. So we're going to start with Christmas. And we're going to pull this one out. Alright, that's the money right there that we don't want to put into these other things, right? Alright, so I've grabbed my next pin because I'm doing like the rainbow order that I have going because I think it's cute and I like rainbows. It's my favorite color. And we're going to deposit, and like me and my husband have talked, worst comes to worst, we have all of this cash sitting here, which eventually will just be deposited back into the account, into the savings. So we are going to add $10 this week. So that takes us up to $105 for Christmas this year, which is pretty exciting, and I apologize if you can hear my tummy growling. It's lunchtime. So yeah, so I already have $105 saved for Christmas. The goal is to have about $1,200 at Christmas. That way each kid gets roughly about $600 spent on them, or $500, and then I have money for my parents. But we might end up with more, you never know. And this is really just, it's not like my total budget, like this is all I'm going to spend on Christmas. Let's be honest, it's not. It's just going to take a hit. My credit cards won't take the hit. My bank accounts won't take the hit. The cash will be gone. So let's count this up. We have 20. We have 2. I always do 2. We have 20, 40, 60, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, and 105. So that is going to go in here. And now I had some people ask me about where I got my envelopes and my binder. I ordered these little envelopes off of Amazon. This little budget sheet off of Amazon. My binder is a Filofax binder that I've had forever because I love planners. And I created the little inserts because I'm not, it didn't really matter. I was actually going to create those inserts too, but it was like a bundle deal, so I just got it. Alright. So vacation is going to get $10. And again, this is not like what we're going to spend on our vacation if we're able to go on a vacation this year, COVID. This is just going to be like cash, gas, maybe if there's enough money. Eventually it would pay, but again, it's just to help alleviate the initial cost. So we have 50, 70, 90, 95, 100, 105, which is really awesome, you guys. I kind of thought that I was going to be like, man, this isn't, am I going to like doing this? But, yeah, I do. I really, really do. And then everything else is just going to get $5 this week. Like I said, I didn't want to take too much cash out and then have to tap into it. So it's best to not try to shove these full when I'm trying to pay off debt. Because in the long run, it's better to have the debt paid off. So this should have $60 in it for my additional savings. So basically every week I save about, on top of this, I save $35 additional dollars in different savings funds. But that just goes right into my savings along with some other funds that I electronically deposit into my savings because that must always have a certain amount in it. So we should have $60 here. So 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60. And I'm a weird one. Even in my wallets, all my cash has to be organized and faced. So in the emergency fund, we are going to do another $5 in the emergency fund. And this would be something that I would use for the water heater. or things like that. You know, whatever we want to do. So this is $5, so this should have $60 in it as well. And it's all 5. See, so when my husband starts getting 20s, I can just cash these out. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And yes, these are not like, I love watching all the budget people and how they do their stuff, but this is not how I'm paying my bills and stuff. It's not how I grocery shop, or this is just extra. I just extra. My glasses fund, because my glasses, they're old and I wear them a lot more than I used to. But my glasses cost quite a bit. So I want, which I'm sure everybody's does, but you know, we're talking like anywhere from $400 to $600. You know, so I want to make sure that when I do go in, that I have a big chunk of that saved up. And you know, these still work. I just want new glasses. So it's not like essential that I have them now. So this should have 25, 10, 15, and 20. And what I was saying was I didn't know if I would like this because I see the way other people do theirs, and obviously you can never compare yourself to anyone else. But I do like watching this grow, even if it's just by $5, and even if it's only $20 that I have saved up. It's $20 that I wouldn't have had, and I honestly, you guys, would have spent on something that we didn't need. And my husband's like, yeah, that's true. Like, we wouldn't have done this at all. So the mattress for my son, which we are going to order Memorial Day sales, so whatever I have in here at that point will just cover that portion of it, and then me and him are splitting the other portion of it. So 5, 10, 15, and 20. So this is just helping both my son and myself. My belly is really growling. I hope the microphone is not picking that up. Insane. Now I did change the groceries and the house. So, yes. So the groceries is now, I believe, the chair for my office, because when I was looking, like, I don't know why a chair didn't dawn on me, but my chair is like, I have to sit on cushions, like pillows, like couch pillows that we don't use, to lift myself up, because it kind of just kept lowering itself, and that's just not fun. So, yeah. So because the chair is less, I switched it with the envelope that had the least amount of money in it. So I figured a chair is going to cost about $250. I kind of priced it out on Amazon. So once I have $250, I will buy a chair, and then I will find something else to save for. So we have $20 in here. Because it's not like I can't get by without the chair, right? Because I am now, so it's totally fine. The Gemini Junior is still something that I am saving for. However, I did switch the cutting mats in my Big Shot, and it seems to be working. So I still want the Gemini Junior though, but not enough to where I'm like, it's broke and my old one's broke and I need one. It's more so I want one, so now I must save up for it. And the Gemini Junior is going to cost about $180 unless that goes up. So once I have $180, this will get deposited and I will buy my Gemini Junior. So this is 20. That's what we should have. Now the Scan and Cut is actually a tool that I have wanted for a long time, and now that I have made it to the a certain design team where they send stuff lots of fuss, like the sheet that has to be fussy cut, I feel like that would just be a lot easier. So on that one, but again, still, even though I could just go buy it, I am not going to. I'm going to save up for it because I have scissors in a hand. So this should have $25, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then our last new is the couch. I want a big pit couch for our living room, something comfy. I have researched it. I figured the ones that I'm looking at are about $2,000. So once I get $2,000 saved up, I will buy a couch. And these will end up starting to get more on them as as the other ones go away or as there's more money. But the Christmas vacation savings and emergency are the most important to me. So this should have $25 in it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And that is it. So we have a cash stuffed. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with the way that things are going. Budgeting works. I've done it forever. I've just never wrote it down. I've never physically looked at it and been like, that's impressive. Do you know what I mean? So next week when we check in, I will have the end of January's totals. And that will be on the 3rd of February. I'll have all of the totals and everything from this week and the month, and like everything that I paid off. And huge applause to myself for paying off one whole credit card in the first month of the year. It feels really good. Prior to this, I would have maybe put an extra $100 on it a week, and the other money would have either went into the savings to sit and look at until we spent it on something. I would have randomly spent it. It's just insane to see how if you just write it down and you stare it directly in your face and you make yourself accountable for it, and that's what you guys are here for too. You are holding me accountable and I am paying things off. So that is awesome. So that is it. So let me know if you guys are doing any kind of budgeting or what you guys have going on. And I will see you next week for another weekly check-in. Bye. Maybe bye, right?